Welcome to the Wednesdays with Will podcast, where Will shares weird, wacky, and wonderful things that go through his mind on Wednesday.
Yo, what's good in the hood, homies? It's your boy, Willie Will, and it's the, Wednesdays with Will podcast. We're out here in these streets, ready for another hot and ready episode of Wednesdays with Will, where we share the weird, wacky, and wonderful things that go through Will's mind on Wednesdays. That's the three dubs. We're out here in these streets. Solo pod out here. We riding solo. All I got in the studio is my good friend Water. Shout out to that boy Ludacris. Got me this water straight from an Alaskan glacier. Hey man. I don't know why you got all that grief for that. Drinking straight out. That guy is a man of the earth. See, water is one of the most foundational molecules of the earth. H2O, two combined. Hey man. And so, as you can see, you don't know where this is from. It could be from the glacier, because I done ripped off the tag. It feels cool, I guess. I know all churches, organizations, anytime you're going to see a water bottle on live or on video, they always be ripping the label off. I don't know why y'all be doing that. I didn't know, I guess water bottles, they can sue. If they're like, hey, that's, Dasani would be like, that's my water bottle. Y'all didn't get the rights to use that. I mean, it's kind of wild that we can capitalize on water. We can take water as the one thing that we're like, you know what? We own this. This glacier is mine. So anyway, I'm going to take a sip. Y'all talk amongst yourselves real fast. Woo. That was good. Now I'm ready to hop into some things today. I ain't going to be before you long, as the preachers say. I have to get a couple things off my chest. Went to Big Chicken Shaq for their grand opening last night. Whew. Oh, man. Still recovering. We are still recovering. I passed by around 9:15 last night. Let me just see if is anybody in line, because the next day, so yesterday was their grand opening at 11 a.m. First 34 people get free chicken for a year in the form of a $10 gift card reloaded every week. And so I was just passing it on my way home, because they're kind of on my way, and I was like, there's a few people in line. Let me see how many people. They said there's 32 people in line. I said, whoop, your boy better get in line, I guess. I was going to come back in the morning, and I would have been too late, because late in the midnight hour, amen, it was already full. So I called up my fiance real quick. I was like, hey, babe, I know you love sleep, right? But, hey, do you want to just stay up and hit up Big Chicken Shaq for this line? Get some company, bring some snacks, get some energy drinks. And then she did it. She pulled up, and she ended up being 33 in line. So we barely made it to the Big Chicken Shack within the first 34 people. And, man, it felt like a movie. We was out there getting to know everybody, because we ended up being there about 14 hours, which is crazy. And honestly, time flies when you're having fun, as they say. It didn't feel that dreadful, but we got there, man, and I brought some stuff to work on. And honestly, didn't really do much. We talked the whole time. Got to know some new people, made some new friends, started roasting Shaq. Because it was like, his business is like they're opening that day, but their drive-thru looked incomplete, man. Y'all needed some more foliage over there. Y'all need a little bit more in the decoration department. I don't know. The sign wasn't even up. The drive-thru sign wasn't even mounted to the ground. It was bent over. I was like, what's going on out here? But anyway, it was a good time. Got some energy drinks, man. We made it. Once we got to the morning, it was a lot better, man. That the late in the midnight hour is the toughest time. About 3, 4, 5 o'clock before the sun goes up, it was like, oh man, but it felt like we're about halfway there. It's too late to turn back now. Oh, we're halfway there. Yeah, it was like I can't turn back now. And that boy, shout out to Mike. Man, shout out to Mike and Mike in the morning, man. There's two fellas named Mike, both black dudes named Mike. There's actually a third white dude named Mike. Shout out to white Mike too, but so Mike cubed out there. But anyway, Mike and Mike kept us strong, man. One Mike had some crazy stories. We were just entertained for a couple hours just on like, he's one of those dudes who's really been through life. I don't know how to explain that other than, there's those dudes, like most of us have gone through regular life. You may face trial and adversity, but at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you hear somebody's story, you're like, yeah, that's life. But you hear this one person, this was this Mike, and it was like, now you've lived a different life, man. You've lived a different life. Dude talking about being on death row, all this stuff. And then how God transformed his life. I was like, man, it's encouraging. And then we had another kid. He was a minor, man. He was like 16, 17. So his mom came up to help, keep him company, kind of make sure everything was all right. So she bringing snacks, water. At one point it rained, so we got in our car watching movies. I was like, man, what's going on? There's some nice people left in the world. This is crazy. And then other Mike, I said Mike and Mike in the morning. Other Mike was out here, man. He had his own business. So he had a barbecue business about 12:30, 1 a.m. He showed up with a whole trailer with some barbecue so he could feed everybody in line. He's like, I got 34 barbecue sandwiches for the first 34 folk in line here. I said, what? So, man, there was some nice folk. And that barbecue hit, man, because I was ready for a midnight snack. I did not go into it prepared to be up all night. So it's like, you can normally go through the night without eating, but if you up, it's like you burn more energy. I'm like, I'm hungry. So this guy, Mike, he showed up with a flash drive and a business idea. He was low-key just trying to talk to Shaq. There was actually a handful of folks that got there after the 35 or 34 or were just hanging out. They low-key were just trying to talk to Shaq. Like, I just need 2 minutes with Shaq. I'm about to give him an elevator pitch. Some people had their business ideas. Some people had their nonprofits they want him to speak at. And it's a sad day for them because jumping ahead, man, none of us first early birds got to talk with Shaq. Because Shaq was on that CP time, man. Shaq was late. Shaq didn't get there till about 1, 2 or something like that for the ribbon cutting ceremony. And I said, isn't that supposed to be at the grand opening? Isn't that supposed to be at the top? Like, he had all these folk. We done waited 14 hours. Actually, that was just me. Some people, because remember, I was 32. People in front of me was above that. The first dude got there midnight Sunday. So he was there probably about, 38? How long is that? That's midnight to midnight is already 24 hours plus the 11. So that dude was there for 33 hours. Well, no, 35 hours. I can't do math. I was public school. Dude was there about 35 hours to meet Shaq. Didn't even get to meet Shaq. Well, I mean, he was there because he was also the first one. But ain't no greater incentive of being the first. We all got the same reward. So you would think the first guy would at least get the hand, shake his hand with Shaq, and be like, yo, what's up, big dog, or something. But we didn't get to see Shaq at all. Sad day. Shaq, you got to do better, man. You got us waiting in line for over 14 hours. At least you can do is say what's up. At least you can do is give us the black dude head nod, I say, what's up with that? Well, with Shaq, I have to already be up and probably bend back my whole neck. I'm already looking up sky high at the boy. He had to bend through to get through the door. The door low for him. But yeah, Shaq was out here, man. Shaq soul. But anyway, it was fun. All in all, it was a good time out there. One of those things. I don't know if I would necessarily do it again. People want to ask 2 questions. Was it worth it, and would you do it again? I feel like those are tough questions because was it worth it? In a sense, yes. In a sense, yes and no. I don't want to do it again. It's like I've lived that experience. Now that I'm on the other side, I don't know if it's worth it particularly, but I do not regret doing it at all. I do not regret it. It was a good time. Got to meet some people, restored faith in humanity because there was a lot of nice people. There was a lot of a-holes up there, but there was a lot of nice people out here. And so at the end of the day, we made it work. We got through it. We had some fun. We met new friends. People came through and helped out each other. All the bathroom runs, man, that was crazy. Because, that's something you don't think about, getting in line for 15 hours. You at some point, you got to go to the bathroom. If you're like me, at some point, you got to drop them kids off at the pool. And so, man, trying to figure out businesses at 2 a.m. in the morning and going to do that, the logistics of that, and then people not giving you a hard time for leaving your spot in line, everything, it's like we all came together. Because at the end of the day, the first 34 customers were there before midnight. So it was kind of like we all were like, all right, we just all got to get through this together at this point. No one's fighting against each other. We all know each other. The people started coming in like 4, 5 in the morning thinking they going to be the first. Like, they thought they was early and ended up they was late. There's some sad people out there. They're like, oh, we out here. I was like, how many folk are that? And then they're counting up, and they're like, oh, there's actually a few more spaces. And we're like, I promise you there's no more spaces. You may not see them physically. They might be in their car. They went to the restroom real quick, but everybody here. And so, yeah, I had a little sign-up sheet just to make sure. I'm like, I ain't going to have nobody, no funny business. Now, somebody done showed up. Where'd you come from in the morning? It's like, no, we was out here. So, anyway, that was my Big Chicken Shaq story out here. Didn't get to meet Shaq. Yeah, maybe he was shacking up when they were opening up. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, what's up? Who's in the chat? I can't see from here, but somebody in the chat. Shout out to the live chat. We're live for this episode of Wednesdays with Will. I'm live on Instagram. If you're live on Instagram right now, go follow the Wednesdays with Will podcast page. Why y'all not doing that? I decided to be gracious on today, and I'm on my main account, but I'm trying to get off my main account. I'm trying to clean up my main account, if you will. Not that it was dirty, but just keep it a little bit more on the professional side, amen. And then get more of the wild, wacky, and wonderful things up on the Wednesdays with Will podcast. A little separation there. And so if y'all would do me a solid and go follow that, because if I go live on the Wednesdays with Will podcast page right now, it's a sad day. There'd be nobody up on there. It'd be crickets. I'd be just having a monologue, which is basically what I do anyway. But I want to invite y'all into this because, like, in this particular episode, we got some topics. I need some interaction. Hey, man, I need some interaction with my viewers. And y'all viewers done so. Ain't nobody sending me my emails. Remember, y'all can email me at WednesdaysWithWillPodcast@gmail.com. Send in topic suggestions. Ask me a question. Leave the number of somebody you want me to call during the podcast. There's a lot of different opportunities for you to get involved. And I would love to see that. You can also follow us on TikTok, Wednesdays with Will Pod, P-O-D. I couldn't spell out the whole podcast. They had that character limit on there. Tic-tac be like, oh, no, you don't get enough tic-tac-toe characters. So that you can follow that. Or the YouTube, Wednesdays with Will Podcast. It's where I put the full video format of the podcast. So I would love for you to do all those things. But anyway, we're going to get up into the topics today. Y'all heard about the Chick-fil-A streaming service? Oh, Chick-fil-A is starting a streaming service, and I really, if anybody knows what exactly entails with this, I would need to know. Apparently, you get on their app, and you can, like, I guess now on their Chick-fil-A app, you can be like, let me get 6-piece McNugget, a fry, some mac and cheese, and a streaming, and let me watch VeggieTales. I don't know what you be watching on the Chick-fil-A streaming service, but it's out here. I feel like, to me, I feel like it has to be VeggieTales. It has to be some sort of Christian TV show, right? Because as a kid, Chick-fil-A is what put me on to, like, Christian kids TV, Christian kids entertainment. How many of y'all know about that Adventures in Odyssey? Amen. Shout out to John Avery Whitaker over there at Wits Inn. I went to Colorado Springs, Colorado to the Focus on the Family headquarters, and I said, what's up to John Avery Whitaker? What's up, man? You was part of my childhood back there. I done seen probably, or watched, listened to like 700 of them episodes. But anyway, I first got put on to Adventures in Odyssey through Chick-fil-A. They had a little cassette tape. Some of y'all said a cassette what? Y'all don't know about them cassette tapes. I got a cassette tape with my kids' meal over at the Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A used to be coming through Clutch. So this isn't something completely out of left field. But now in the day of streaming, they just said, oh, let's flip it up a little bit. So now you can maybe, are they going to just pull back from the old days? Can you stream Adventures in Odyssey? I don't think they're still around, man. I listened to some new episodes maybe 4 or 5 years ago just for fun. And I was like, man, this is completely different. They done all the characters gone. For the longest time, I'm like, why is Connie still 19 or whatever, however old she is? She's still a kid. I always find it fascinating the way characters age in shows. Because it's like if you're watching like a show where they're a kid actor, especially if it's a live action or something, it's like they have to age them because biologically they're aging in your perception of them. But when it's adults, they just be the same age. Like that show, The Big Bang Theory. I'm like, why y'all still in y'all still in college or whatever? Like, what's going on? Sometimes they don't age properly. But that show, the characters stayed the same, and they eventually like, let me change the voices. We got to age these people out because it's going on too much. But anyway, if you have any ideas of what's in the Chick-fil-A streaming service, let me know, man. Because Chick-fil-A, they're trying to tap into that streaming market out here in these streets, and I'm all for it, honestly. Chick-fil-A, you do you. Give me them fries and some streaming, because There's not much for the kids no more. Play places going to crap. Chick-fil-A has always had a small play place anyway. I've always liked the toys and the stuff at Chick-fil-A. I got a lot of cassette tapes from even other things from Chick-fil-A back in the day. Good times. Also, what else we got, man? Y'all see, speaking of updating things new and improved, I think I have the headline on this one. Y'all see Capri Sun is getting new packaging? So Capri Sun, if you're like me, like we just said with Chick-fil-A, you grew up in Chick-fil-A, you had the little cassette tapes or the CDs you got in the kids' meals. You also grew up, and you remember Capri Sun was that little weird tin foil kind of pouch with the little plastic straw that would break half the time when you tried to stick it in the hole. Why are we crackling today? Pardon me. Let me try to figure this out real quick. I apologize for beg my pardon on me. There we go. I think that's a little better. But y'all remember the old school Capri Sun, and now they done bottled it up. And some people are outraged. I saw this tweet. I skipped ahead. My bad. Skipped ahead. At Nola Chick said, Capri Sun isn't tasty enough to be bottled. The flavor cannot support the medium. No further questions. And I would agree. Capri Sun is pretty mid. It's a great kids drink. The only thing more mid and kiddie than Capri Sun is that purple barrel drink. Them barrel drinks are the only thing. That's just literally sugar and some food coloring. I don't think there's really any flavor. Honestly, it feels like most of them taste about the same. They're just sweetened water, and that's it. But Capri Sun, they bottled it to try to look a little bit more sophisticated. But still, I ain't never seen a grown man drink Capri Sun. And maybe that's why, because they were in a little tinfoil pouch with the straw. And maybe now they think we can get some adults to drink Capri Sun. But I feel like it's too nostalgic for us. Well, we might. That's a good thing. So for some of us, here's the thing. I don't think we're going to be publicly drinking Capri Sun. That's what I'm saying. Ain't nobody pulling up to the function in the coolers. There's some barrels of Capri Sun in there or some bottles. Ain't nobody going to pull up to the function. And if you do that, you got a cooler full of Capri Suns like this, you're getting roasted. Rest assured you're getting roasted. So the only way people will do this, like, maybe in the comfort of their own home, under their roof. It's like, let me try this Capri Sun just to relive my childhood for a little bit. Yep, just about how I remember it. Also, now it looks like you can maybe see in. See, that was the weirdest thing with Capri Sun. You could never see the liquid you was drinking. That always kind of made me a little suspicious, especially when I started getting older, because I like to see my drink. I don't like beverages that are like a unspecified color or texture. Like, I can't see what I'm drinking. And I think Capri Sun was clear from the times, I just squirted it out as a kid. But now I can figure this out for real. And I need to know, does each flavor have different colors too? The fruit punch, strawberry kiwi, Pacific cooler, they still got those OG flavors, man. The classics right there. But do they all? I feel like they all look the same. They all clear. The fruit punch wasn't actually red like you think. That's why they have it. Even this one, they have a really, really tight label on it, where it's one of those where it looks like you couldn't easily rip it off. They be hiding. I don't think because it's all modified ingredients in there, man. Ain't nothing about Capri Sun screams real juice. But I don't know. I might have to tap in just to try it. We got one more tweet, I think, about the Capri Sun at Medrin Life Bursch. I don't know. I'm not saying who this ad is. But she said, drinking Capri Sun out of anything other than a deflated piece of tinfoil with a miserable excuse for a straw deserves jail time, that's pretty funny. Why are my headlines over here? Get out of here. Somebody emailed me about the wedding. But, yeah. So some people are like, this is just different than we're accustomed to. Hey, man, we need that disgruntled piece of tinfoil back. I don't want this. You can't bottle this stuff up. It's too good to be bottled. It's like juice boxes. You don't see Juicy Juice in a bottle. I don't even think Juicy Juice is still around. 100% juice, 110% juice. Isn't that what they said? Which don't even make sense. But the thing is, they can define what juice is themselves. Yeah, this is juice, according to us. But juice is a very undefined substance. What makes it juice? Is it real fruit? Or is it just the flavor? I don't know. Anyway, last thing on the probably news you have heard of, and then we'll get into the news you probably haven't. We have a little game for that. But we have the Chase Bank. Oh, man, I folded again. I don't have a graphic for this. I need to get my my graphic game. I need a CG guy. Come on. Who wants to produce Wednesdays with Will and run the graphics for me, okay? So I stay on topic with and not keep jumping ahead. I really want to jump ahead to that story, apparently, which I'm not supposed to. I just revealed, anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But the Chase Bank money glitch, it's going viral, but some consequences could be severe now. So some people have found a loophole where they're depositing fake checks or large sum of monies that wasn't being flagged immediately. But Chase says we're getting you on the back end. So a lot of people are finding their accounts in the negative or on hold because Chase done finally caught on. You couldn't scam J.P. Morgan out of his money like that. It might have worked a little bit, small fry stuff, but now that it's getting too big, you might as well not even try. And this is one of those things where it's like, some people are like, how the heck does that happen? But Chase is such a big corporation that it's like a few things are going to slip through the cracks. And as long as it's at a minor level, as long as it's at a mid-tier or small fry level, they really aren't worried about it. Because in the grand scheme of things, they got tons of money, tons of people, tons of resources. But it's when stuff like this hits the social media and goes viral, that's when they have a problem. Like Cash App, with the Cash App scams and frauds a few years ago. It's the same thing they ran into. Because there's always scammers are going to scam, all right? There's going to be a little bit level of scam that they can't be on everything. They can't investigate everything, but it's not worth their resources because they're so big. But when it just takes these, viral people to be like, hey, we're out here. Let me show you how it works. Go to an ATM, deposit this fake check. Look at this. It hit my account. And people are like, what? And now everybody tries it. But now that y'all all tried it, they're like, no, we can't let this happen. Y'all, a few of y'all can slip through the cracks, but y'all hit the media with this? Nah, we gotta get this off. So anyway, I think that's what happened here with Chase, and this move has left would-be scammers out here on the deep in red, negative balances into tens of thousands of dollars. So some people are trying to transfer their money. Apparently, there's a DoorDash glitch where customers could order multiple things as well. So there's been a lot of glitches. There's a big market for hackers in here, and they just want to be kind of hacking into things like that, get unlimited stuff. I'm not going to lie. I've had a few food apps because I be getting the food deals, right? I be learning how to, let me modify my email. I got 10 or 12 emails so I can get me another free, a free item at Chick-fil-A or whatever, not Chick-fil-A. I don't want to throw Chick-fil-A. I don't be trying to get Chick-fil-A over. I pay my full amount to Chick-fil-A. I don't even like using coupons at Chick-fil-A. See, it's a Christian organization. I can write it off as an offering, right? So that's the thing. I gotta take it easy. But we'll see. Anyway, let me get on. We gotta move along here. Now I got a new game, man. All right, I got a new game. We've in the light of all the Chat GPT stuff that's been going on in the last few weeks when we had Chat GPT roast my Instagram, all that stuff. I thought it would be fun to have Chat GPT write some headlines. And we always cover some weird, wacky, and wonderful news headlines out here on Wednesdays with Will. So I figured if I throw some wacky Chat GPT headlines on here and mix them with the real ones, would y'all be able to identify what is real and what is fake? So, all right, we have two truths and a lie, news headline style, Chat GPT edition. If you're here live on Instagram, I would love for you to comment which one you think is the lie. All right, here we go. We got three headlines. Number one is ancient civilization discovered on the moon. Scientists are stunned by lunar ruins. So, has there been an ancient civilization discovered on the moon? Okay, don't Google this. Some of y'all typing right now. I see y'all. Don't Google it. Y'all just got to say real or fake. All right, next headline is 71-year-old Indiana man poisoned his wife for months so he could marry her daughter. Is that real or fake? And then third headline, top Catholic official sues Grindr for $5 million over data breach. And come on, guys, come on. Don't think it's that simple, right? Y'all said, oh, you would throw it in the Catholic priest and on Grindr. Come on, don't do this. To my Catholic friends, come on. Hey, y'all hung yourself with this one. But so anyway, talk amongst yourself. Which one is real? Which one's fake? Is it the lunar, the moon, or the civilization found on the moon? Is it the 71-year-old Indiana man who poisoned his wife so he could marry her daughter, or Catholic official suing Grindr for $5 million after a data breach? And the winner is ding, 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 ding. Well, which one is fake is ancient civilization discovered on the moon after uh, lunar civilization or whatever. So there's no ancient civilization on the moon, okay? And it ain't happened. Maybe it will happen. I don't know. Well, if you believe the Bible, I don't know. Did God create people on the moon? I don't know about that. Or did we go to the moon back in the 60s and actually somebody still lives there? I don't know. Was the moon landing even real or fake? Okay, this is opening a whole nother can of worms. That's too much for this podcast. But all I'm going to tell you is that headline right there, right here, right now, was a fake one. And let's get into the other one. So 71-year-old Indiana man poisoned his wife for months so that he could marry his daughter. So an 71-year-old man in Wayne County, Indiana, has been sentenced to prison after admitting to poisoning his wife over several months so that he could marry his daughter. Records show that in July he was sentenced to 4 years in prison, and he initially faced more severe charge of a conspiracy to commit murder, but was dismissed as part of a plea deal. And I don't really get these plea deal things. It's like, okay, I admit to it. I actually did it, and now we're going to soften the charge? Like, I mean, I think there's something important about owning up to what you did and admitting it, but the idea of like, oh, let me just convince you to admit to something, and now we will lessen the sentence is kind of messed up, especially when you're getting out of murder, for example, because I don't think that should excuse that, you know. And on the flip side, you now also see a lot of people who are legitimately innocent in other facets that end up taking the plea deal because they're faced with like two crimes or, you know, a charge that could end up being worse off for them. And they're like, man, I'll just go ahead and take this plea and I'll just take a year in jail, opposed to like they're telling me I'll get 15 if I don't. And like that just seems a little, I don't know. That's the whole, again, this is for another podcast another time. But anyway, the plot came to life after this dude's wife had a lot of unexplained health problems that led to a lot of hospitalizations. She was dealing with headaches, drowsiness, and diarrhea. And then she had a toxicology test that revealed the presence of MDMA. It's a cocaine, and it was in her system. And she insisted she had never taken any of these substances. And eventually, her husband confessed to his wife that he had been spiking her drinks with drugs. The confession later confirmed by an affidavit cited, and he admitted that he was in a relationship with his wife's 31-year-old daughter from a previous marriage, and that they plan to be together after removing his wife out of the picture, is in quotes. And that's just wild to me, that you're going to pursue your wife's own daughter from a different marriage, apparently, but it's still your daughter. It's still, well, okay. Stepped up, whatever. This is some Arkansas, Sweet Home Alabama stuff to a new level, because now y'all killing folk over this. You spiking and poisoning your wife, and this dude's 71 years old. So the wife got to be up there too. It's like, y'all both old enough. You probably too old to get it up anyway. You need like Blue Chew Deluxe, and now you over here spiking your wife's drink, send her on to the grave so you can be with her daughter. Does this daughter want to? Why, as a daughter, would you even want to be with this dude? I mean, was he manipulating her? Because it's like, okay, if I'm the daughter, you done killed my mama, spiked her and killed her, and now you gonna be with me? I'm like, I'm scared. What if I do something to displease you? Now you gonna start spiking my drink. Now you gonna put ecstasy in my drink or something, make me all crazy. What in the world is going on out here in Indiana? I expected that from, Arkansas, Florida, Ohio, but Indiana? I guess y'all close enough to Ohio. I don't know. Indiana, y'all do better, man. So that was that one. And then the other real story was the Catholic priest, top Catholic official, a former administrator of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, filed a lawsuit against Grindr for claiming the dating app mishandled his personal data, leading to his public outing and resignation. Jeffrey Burrow, that's his name, I guess, who had been using the queer dating app since 2017, alleges that Grindr failed to inform users that their data could be assessed by third-party vendors. This breach, he claims, led to significant damage to his reputation and career. Well, you don't say, but turn to your neighbor and say, what is done in the dark? Amen? shall come into the light. Yeah, I didn't hear y'all say it to your neighbors, but text it to somebody in the chat. I don't know. But yeah, this guy done got outed, and now they're going a different way. And I know, as soon as I read that headline, a lot of y'all like me wanted that to be fake. It's like, we get it. There's a lot of the very what you call it. It's like a common thing about the Catholic priests and the boys, and they're like, please just be a joke. Why is this really a thing? But it is, unfortunately, a thing. And the controversy began back in 2021 when the Catholic media site Pillar reported on Bro's use of Grindr, leading to his resignation. And based on data, he visits gay bars. It sparked a national discussion about data, privacy, and the church's handling of such revelations. His attorney argues data release was a severe violation of privacy, forcing Royal's public life into the public eye, that's a tough thing, because it's kind of this thing of, if you're in the public eye, you lose some private aspects of your life, and it's like, these are things that are out of sight, out of mind for some people, but once they're out in the light, it's like, you an official, we can't have this happen. I mean, any politician anywhere would be outed immediately. You know, any probably doctor or anything. It's just like, if you're in some sort of prestigious position, you know, things like this, once they come to light, it's like, oh, well, I ain't going to deal with that. How many pastors have we seen they done outed because of something? Even way in the past, even maybe prior to their position, because it's like we hold the, for better or for worse, and whether it's good or not, we hold people in leadership to a higher standard. And maybe that's just kind of biblically, that's the call that you have, and you have to adhere to and realize. But this dude, I mean, this was since 2021. I mean, this guy had been out here. Oh no, he's been using the app since 2017. But the controversy came out in 21. So he's been out here in these queer streets for a minute, living this DL life out here. And in a way, at least, I mean, he wasn't forcing people, I guess. At least he was on the app. I mean, if you want to, you have as a glass half full. At least it didn't come out that he was, you know, abusing boys, or more stereotypical stuff. At least he was out here using the app, you know. And I'm gonna hope it was all consensual or whatever. But that's a whole nother. That's a whole nother, again, for a whole nother podcast. Right now, we're just sad day on the news tip right there. Sad day. Oh man, I keep failing and flipping over, and I've revealed, I don't know if y'all seen that, but I've revealed the story headline. But so the next three that we're getting up, that was the first one. You know, I'll go ahead and hopefully y'all didn't see it. For the audio listeners, oh yeah, there we go. If you're an audio only listener, I'm gonna still go through this next three headlines, real or fake, so y'all can still guess. And maybe y'all had your eyes closed, you didn't see the slide behind me. But okay, here we go. We got three more headlines. Again, if you're just joining us, 2 truths and a lie, news headline story. This is basically, I went to ChatGPT and I said, give me a fake headline, and it did its ChatGPT scammer stuff. And so now I got 2 real and a fake, and here we go. Headline number 1 is 11-year-old confesses to fatally shooting former Louisiana mayor and his daughter. So did an 11-year-old go postal out here in these streets? Or world's first time machine unveiled. Travel back in time is now a reality. So is there a time machine out here in these streets? Or number 3, Virginia dad lists. Oh no, excuse me. I always mess up the third story. I'm reading too fast. I'm going too fast. I need to wrap up really soon. I gotta go get my marriage license. Amen. But 11-year-old. Oh, I already read that one. Oh my gosh. Virginia dad gives his son living in his basement a $1 million lottery ticket as a wedding present. So which one is real? Or actually, tell me which one is fake. Which is the fake headline? Is it that one, the Virginia dad gives his son living in his basement a $1 million lottery ticket? Is it a time machine has been created, the world's first time machine? Or 11-year-old confesses to fatally shooting former Louisiana mayor and his daughter. I feel like this one, if you're with it, I think this one's a little easier than the last one. Because unless you think we're out here in these streets like the Jeffersons, I don't know. But yes, the fake one is the time travel man. There's the world's first time machine unveiled. ChatGPT spit that out, and I was like, honestly, I wish I kind of asked for another one because I feel like that's a little too far fetched. If y'all know if time machine was discovered, I think that would be national news. We would all hear about that. Like, oh wow, y'all hear about the time machine, and we would already see, Harriet Tubman and Thomas Jefferson out here in these streets. Probably, people had already gotten pictures of them, when they went into the time machine. So that's far fetched, but that would have been lit. But anyway, the fake head that was the fake headlines. And 11-year-old confessed. This is a really sad story. Heartbreaking and shocking case in Louisiana. 11-year-old boy confessed to fatally shooting former interim mayor, an 82-year-old man, Joe Cornelius Sr., and his daughter, Keisha Miles, who was 31. The child who shot him is reportedly a relative of the victims. He was arrested on Sunday after admitting to the crime. Apparently, initially he claimed he didn't do anything. He gave a story that didn't align with the evidence, leading to further questioning. And after being brought into the police station by a guardian, the boy eventually confessed to the double homicide. Authorities discovered 2 weapons hidden on the property with the calibers that matched the shell casings found at the scene. However, it remains unclear how the child obtained the weapons. The young suspect has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and is currently being held on a $500,000 bond. At this time, it's unknown whether the boy will be tried as an adult. $500,000 bond seems a little. It always seems kind of wild. It seems a little low to me that you're basically putting $500,000 as the price of 2 lives, if that's his bond, right? Which, I mean, there's never really any price for a life. I think that's right, but I always found bond to be interesting. It's like, how do we get somebody who's been charged, essentially even like, he's doing it, he done did it, but they can just walk on the bond? I need to do more research. I don't really understand the whole idea of going on bond, especially when you're like you can just get out of being in jail during the trial period. Is that basically how that works? But it's like, this dude was out here in these streets as a little kid. I don't know if. Also, I guess, he can't afford that. I mean, most people can't afford bonds like that anyway. But if, in a way, it's like if you're a millionaire or whatever, like that, or mega millionaire, like that's pocket change at some point. So it's like you're basically immune from jail time serving while in trial. I guess if you get convicted, bond doesn't help you. I think that's like OJ. Didn't OJ plays bond? I guess I don't know. That's why they have all the bond shops, right? Too, the bail bonds. I guess they pay your bond for you. But it's like if you end up being, released, if you're innocent, do you get that bond money back? I feel like you should. But, I mean, the bail bond people are like, I need my money back because we done paid it. Does the state pay it back? These are things I should have researched. I should have did my, as you see, I just read what I see. I didn't really do my research and be well-equipped and knowledgeable about the subjects. We just out here. So let's just move on, okay? Again, the next story was fake about the time traveling. But another real story, Virginia dad gives son living in his basement. Let me read that again so I can clip that better. Virginia dad gives son living in his basement a $1 million lottery ticket as a wedding present. And first of all, my wedding's coming up. If y'all want to do the same for me or sister Alexandra Norris, please do yourself a favor, do your boy a favor, and go ahead and hit us that winning lottery ticket. I've done seen the Mega Millions. Yeah, it's at like hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm like, man, just give me a tithe of that, amen. Tithes to the Bass Pro Shop Ministries, amen. We're right here, Sarah. Shout out to Bass Pro. Just will you give an offering, amen, on today? Will you give an offering? That was the first one. There's the headline. Now we're finally on time. Anyway, Aaron Andrews, a newlywed, has been living in his dad's basement since getting married back in April. Oh, so he was already married and still living in it? That's tough, man. That's tough. To be married, living in your parents' basement is a whole new level of low. Because one thing if you're just a single bachelor, and how old is he? Does it say? It doesn't say how old he is. His age is relevant. I think it doesn't matter. As long as you're an adult, just the idea of you living in your parents' basement already sounds pretty trash. But if he's like in his 30s, it gets more trash. I think every 5 years, the trashness goes up from about 20 to 30. Once you're 30, it's pretty sad. If you get to 40, people really starting to feel sorry for you. thinking something's wrong with you. If you get to 50, something better be wrong with you, like legitimately, because that's about the age you need to start taking care of your parents. And you still in their basement, they should be in your basement at this point. Because that's about 50 years old as an adult is when your role from your parent being your caretaker to you being your parent's caretaker that pendulum starts to turn. So that's why if you get to about 40, 50 and you in their basement, it's like, should be in your basement. So, but anyway, Virginia father found this as an incredibly generous way to help his son and new daughter-in-law move out of his basement by gifting them $1 million in a winning lottery ticket. There's two things here. First of all, this dad is a G. He guessed the right winning lottery ticket, and he loved his son so much, or was just tired of them on his hair, tired of hearing that newlywed sex downstairs in the basement from his wife that probably ain't given him nothing since 1998. And so he said, let me give you this $1 million. Get up out of here. And he said, get up out of here now, because as I read down, he could have taken it, the price, like he could have taken the cash out differently. Oh, man. My alarm. Hold on. Pardon me. Pardon me. I don't know if y'all could hear that. My alarm was going off camera. I need to wrap up. And again, I need to go get my marriage license real quick. So I'm not living in my parents' basement after trying to get married. But anyway, he'd be living in so yeah, he could have. The prize offered a choice of $1,000 every week for life, or for a one-time payout of $1 million. So that's actually wild, because $1,000 every week for life? Oh, I gotta do what's so. There's 52 weeks in a year, so that would be $52,000 a year of it. Like basically, that's your annual salary for doing nothing, that's not bad. You could still have a little side hustle, regular job, really do a job that you like, and get a little bit of extra spending money and extra capital. I mean, in this economy, 52,000 isn't. You ain't balling, but I mean, you're married. He's a newlywed. If his wife is doing a little something, even part time, I mean, that's livable. It's a livable wage, is what I'm getting to. But also, if you get $1 million out of a lump sum, you should be able to invest some of that. You should be able to put some of that into some equity or something, and it should do for you. But what would you do? Let me just take a side note there. Would you take the $1,000 payout every week, or the $1 million lump sum? I think me personally, I like the steady income that I can count on, that it's coming in, because $1,000 every week is a little bit more. I can count on that lasting other than $1 million. Well, I mean, it's $1 million is $1 million, and you can immediately go to work, invest in that, immediately go into. I don't know. That's a tough question, because the biggest thing is like, how long am I living? Because theoretically, if I live, I'm only 26. If I live till I'm 80. Somebody homeschool, do that math. I know y'all can do that math. How much money would I be getting? I'm 26. If I live to, let's make it easy. Let's make it to 86. So it's if I live 60 years, and I get $1,000 a week, how much money is that? Can somebody hit me in the comments with that answer? Because my math, my brain is doing that little that little Einstein symbols. I don't know what the math is on that. Somebody help me out in the chat, please. What is 40, basically 40 times, how would you do that? There's 52 weeks in a year, right? And it's $1,000. So I can do that easy. So that's $52,000. So what's $52,000 times 60? That's the answer I need. Because in that, whatever that cost is, if that outweighs, that has to be more than $1 million, right? That has to be more than $1 million. If that is, that's what. Anyway, if y'all can answer that, that's my answer. And what's your answer? Are you taking the lump sum? Are you taking $1 million or $1,000 a week? But anyway, that's what this dude said, and he gave him the $1 million. He said, "Get up out of this house." And the son, and they played happily. My wife, fiance is calling me. Let me go ahead and get up out of here. Anyway, it's Wednesdays with Will. Love you. God bless you. God keep you. We gotta go. Yes, ma'am. you're alive. What's up? You are on the podcast. How's it going?
Oh, it's pretty good. I'm getting ready to head to get our marriage license.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's what I was about to do as well. So,
Awesome.
would you like to sign off to our viewers?
Yes, but what am I supposed to say?
I guess just say thank you for attending Wednesdays with Will. It's
All
your,
right.
and then
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Thank you for attending Wednesdays with Will. We'll see you all next week.
All right. See you guys.